Hello everyone, it's me, Dementy Ghastly here. We are starting off back where we left. Speaking of right back where we left, I forgot to give the outro. So here, let me do it now. Make sure to go out. No, you know what? Actually, let's wait till the end of the video for that, eh? Because at the end of this video, we are going to be crowning the ultimate villain. So first, we have to look at our people here who are major antagonists. Chris McLean. Obviously, Chris McLean is the main antagonist, as every season he is in, he is the antagonist. He is the one antagonizing the campers. He is the one making everything difficult. He's the one that runs the show. He's the one that controls the drama. He is the mastermind behind it all. Now we have Chef, who is his right-hand man. In the first couple seasons, he is also a person who will go out of his way to torment the campers. He had more of a role in season 1. He had some interesting stuff with him, that's for sure. Nowadays, he's just kind of the dude who reads out the votes. Alejandro Bueros Muertos. I don't remember exactly where it is, but Alejandro, he is... One second, drink a bar, so I can think. Okay. Alejandro is the best villain Total Drama's ever had. When it comes to playstyle, sorry guys, sorry Heather lovers, I'm sorry. I had to do the pause there. So Alejandro is the best player in this game. He's very good at manipulation. He's very good at knowing the other contestants. He knows all. He's a genius. He's strong. He's very charismatic. He's got the voice along with the looks, so he kind of checks every single base that you need. The one thing is that he had 2 weaknesses, and those were abused, and those led to the most perfect downfall. Number 1, he hates being called Al. It antagonizes him to a certain degree. It brings back the fact that his brother is a person that he looks up to in a way, but also is completely terrified that he'll never be as good as him. And think about his brother, Jose, just gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and it just keeps on driving him crazy. Until his bigger weakness happened, Heather. There's been a few times where Heather has weaseled her way out by charming Alejandro, but in the last case, she cheated him out of $1 million. So, you know, that was kind of crazy. And I think that was the perfect way to get rid of Alejandro. However, the Heather ending where she loses is so weirdly written. I think they just should have changed the entire flow of the episode or something like that. I don't know, it's just weird to me. But yeah, Alejandro, the best character with the best playstyle. He also did great in every challenge. He's a powerhouse, but he also was able to sweep himself under the radar due to all the people that were bigger threats or bigger targets due to them bringing the team down. His ability to create alliances is also strangely dangerous. Now we have Courtney. Courtney, you were a hero in season 1. In season 2, you were an antagonist, coming in swinging. Immediately just bam, 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 bam. I'm going to be as antagonistic as I can. I'm going to have anger issues. I need everything to be perfect. I need to win, which is what's led to her downfall being the fact that she over and over again may not win this game. She just continuously comes close and doesn't win. I like that about Courtney. I think that fits her perfectly because that is her thing. She may never win total drama. She may come close, but she doesn't win. However, her derailment in All Stars was absolutely insane. You couldn't see any of the good parts of Courtney. She was a brat. She was a victim, but she's also a brat. And she would quickly switch between, I'm going to backstab you, and please don't vote me off. She couldn't decide on what type of character she was going to be. I think the writers, I don't think they purposely did any of this, but I think they kind of misunderstood what their own writing was with Courtney in All Stars. I think there's something wrong there. They just misunderstood their own idea. In World Tour, she was more of a hero-ish. That season was probably Courtney's weirdest season, where she was kind of an in-between. Now, All Stars is her worst season, but World Tour is her weirdest, because she was kind of in a situation where, could you think of her as a hero? Yeah. Could you think of her as a antagonist? Sure. Yeah, it's completely down to your interpretation. Either way, she's a very good character, but she was derailed as seasons went on. Starts of her personality that kind of made up what the character was supposed to be started to fade away. And that led her to being a kind of controversial character in the fandom, where some people really like her, some people really hate her. Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkney. Duncan is problematic. They make him out to be a good guy in the first season, which I can see. He bullied Harold, but, he seemed to have kind of a heart of gold in other ways, even though he was an asshole to Harold in season 1. But let's be honest, Harold kind of deserved it. I don't want to say that he completely deserved it. He barely deserved it, but he did deserve it a little. He did some disgusting stuff, and Duncan was over punishing with it, but he did, it was fair game. Duncan is problematic. He's extremely sexist, which they kind of try to forget about all the seasons after that. They try to show him as not really a bully in seasons after Action, even though he was considered like, oh, he's a hero in Action, and we just try to make Courtney look worse so that he looks better, even after he bullied Harold for that entire time, which was completely uncalled for. They decide to bring him back in World Tour to make him a kind of another antagonist again, and then they just try to make him a good guy, wannabe bad guy. They make him like a pathetic Max in there, where he wants to be so evil, but he cannot be evil. I think one of the main things that they misunderstood about Duncan's character was that he didn't care enough. Like, Duncan wasn't trying to be, like, a bad boy or anything. He was just kind of being a bad boy because he was being himself. Duncan was just, he didn't care. He didn't care about what other people thought of him, and that's what people liked about his character so much in the first place, which was why he was a okay antagonist. Speaking of that, there's a lot of problematic things with Duncan, one of them being the sexism, him cheating on his girlfriend, and then them trying to make him out as a good guy, and it just doesn't sit right with me in a lot of ways. It just feels kind of sexist in itself in a lot of regards, because I don't know, this love triangle thing is just really weird. And no, I'm not including Gwen on this list, you freaks. Heather. Okay, Heather is the best villain when it comes to writing. I loved watching Heather on screen. I loved to hate her in season 1. In season 2, she didn't really overstay her welcome too much. I thought that she did have great dynamics with several characters. Her dynamics with other characters is strangely amazing. In every single season she's in, she can just find like some way to click with other characters in a way that several other characters don't, or they don't try to. Meanwhile, Heather had her redemption arc, turning into a anti-hero in World Tour, which was amazing. She was fully written out throughout several seasons, creating one of the deepest total drama characters due to her being the opposite of Gwen. Meanwhile, Gwen being the hero of the series and Heather being the antagonist of the series, which leads them to be the main characters of the series when you look at it from the perspective of writing. I personally love Heather so much. I think she's funny. I think she is smart for the most part. Did she get away with some stuff? Yeah. Did she have some plot armor? Yeah. I think some plot armor is good. Do I think that it's great? No. But do I think it's good? Yeah, it works good for some characters. It works good in some situations. Like for Heather's, I didn't really mind it that much. I found that her getting to the top 3 and then her amazing villain like punishment was just so beautiful. It was perfectly tailored for her. It was given out by Lindsay. Everything just came crashing down, and it showed whole new sides to her. And she just continued to be an interesting character. Now we have the failed major antagonist from Action. Because Courtney was truly the antagonist of Action. Meanwhile, Justin tried to. You see, they kind of gave up on him a little bit early. Even before Courtney got there, they had slowly started to give up on him. As Justin, they started to play more to him being a joke character again, which he was kind of like Scott in the way that he was a slapstick character. Speaking of Scott, we're going to get to him next. But he was a slapstick character that was completely also meant to seem terrifying. It's hard to put those two things together, and Justin does it, but he doesn't do it with the power that you'd like him to. A lot of people consider him a budget Alejandro because he's got a fair amount of charm, but he does not have the brains, too much of the brawn, or the smooth talking to do it. He has the smooth voice, but he does not have the smooth talking. He's not the best at it. He can't convince people to stick with his side unless he flashes his, body at you. And eventually, after he's done that for a while, people will get bored of it. You've seen, you get a treat over and over again. It doesn't feel like a treat. It feels like a reward for something, and you keep on expecting it over and over again. That's essentially what Justin's flashing like a sweet smile at you starts to feel like. Meanwhile, Justin got beat up on. He got discarded for Courtney, and honestly just forgotten about as a main villain, but I think I could do the justice of keeping him in this list. I feel bad for the guy. The master of slapstick himself, Scott. Scott is a amazingly written character. So first, Scott in the first season, did he have a lot of moments where they were like, oh my god, he's being so obvious with his lying? Yes, but let's just say in the Total Drama universe, he's not exactly being as obvious, because I think this was supposed to be a cue to stupider listeners, or watchers, I should say, viewers. This was supposed to be a clue to the dumbest viewers that he was lying, and he was being a little bit of a sneaky boy. He's being a little bit of a rat, a little bit ratty. But Scott was great in the first season. I enjoyed his slapstick, I enjoyed his jokes, I enjoyed his little Tom and Jerry stuff with Fang. It's very cartoony, and it was a good break to have every now and then. His villain punishment of being mauled by Fang was disturbing, and I didn't like it. I thought it was just really uncomfy, you know? It's just really uncomfy. Like, I'm feeling uncomfortable right now. Watching him be a head on the box, except it's a head popping out of a box, because a lot of people didn't even notice that his body was probably stuffed inside there, so a lot of people thought he was just a head. A lot of people thought he was a decapitated head, and I'm not kidding about that. I've seen that before. People saying that they didn't know until the next season that it was insane. These people were like, oh my god, I think they killed him. Is this, what the? And then them laughing at him after Chris said that. It didn't sit right with me. However, in the next season, they decide to keep a little bit of a thing with him now having extreme trauma from shark things, which means that he's terrified of sharks. He's a great slapstick character, but he's also got more of a heart now. He was very cold in Revenge of the Island, and I think that worked with this character, but this country boy awkward around Courtney thing was also really cute and really funny. And honestly, I don't know, I think this felt almost as good as Season 1 Dunked Me. Not really in that range, actually, but it was the next best thing. Let's be honest here. He wanted her to boss her around, she wanted to boss him around. It was the perfect relationship, and they just had to do something crazy with it to, like, ruin it. However, if you want to know more about my feelings on the list, I have the same exact feelings as Switchy, so go check out his channel. He does Total Drama video essays called the Comprehensive Roast of Insert Total Drama Season here, his thing on All-Stars, and what he says about Chartney is the whole Chartney thing. By the way, I didn't want you to think I said Chartney. Chardonnay. He's got the same exact opinions that I do. That was a weird storyline and out of nowhere. But I will say, I love Scott. He's in my top 10 characters. I think he is very funny. He's very sweet. He's got, like, this charm to him, in a way. His lying is mid, but only because they chose to show it that way to appeal to dumber audiences. Anyway, now we have Sugar. Sugar is the worst main antagonist I've ever seen. How are we supposed to know she was a main antagonist? Like, I couldn't tell who is being the antagonist during that season. Like, who cared either? Like, at that point, the fact that she got to Final 3 was annoying. Not to mention that they decide, oh yeah, by the way, guys, she was the villain this whole time. Okay, why should I care? What's her reasoning? What's she doing? What's her manipulative strategy? Why is she doing this? What is up with Sugar? Why should I care? Why should I give a shit about Sugar? They don't tell me that. I don't care about her. I don't think that she's a good character. She just makes me look at her like this. I don't know, she just isn't a good character. And I wish that, you know, I wish that she wasn't here as a character. I don't like her character, but mostly I just wish there was a better villain for Pacateo Island. I wish there was more clear and better villains. Speaking of better villains, we have the barely squeaks out Sugar, Mal. Mal had the problem with Scott of that his line was so obvious. They had to dumb down every single character a whole bunch of notches in order for him to seem like a better villain. Did I like that? Absolutely not. I think that was a horrible decision. But they had to string everybody along for the entire season until Oh, you found me out. And then they decide, like, ooh, let's make some scary things about me being the original, except it's fake. Ooh. There's plot lines, like, of him and Duncan and Juvie. Which, by the way, how the frick? He would have to be younger, right? He would have to be, like, so, what? What's going on there, right? That was... Something just ain't right about Mal. Like, by the way, not to mention that this was a horrible way to show people with DID. Dissociative identity disorder is probably a really hard... I can't say anything on it. And keep in mind, I'm not an advocate for this or anything. I'm an advocate for good mental health. But I don't know very much about DID, but I can tell that people probably don't want others to think of them as this, whatever this is. I don't think people want to, like, demonize people with mental health conditions anymore. Like, Mal is just showing that, oh, people with DID are unstable. They could have an evil personality. Mal also does try to kill a few people, which I guess is like... He has his moments, which is like, I guess that's villainous. Mostly he just breaks stuff and says emo things. Anyway, ooh, Bowie. Yes, King. Great villain. Thought he was funny. He was very manipulative. He worked hard in challenges. He's very agile. Great gay representation as well. Not completely. I think he's a little bit too stereotypical. However, for those of you who just agreed with what I just said, Total Drama is supposed to be about stereotypes. It's about breaking out of them, and Bowie kind of has this little villain thing to break out of it. He's got his own little relationship with Raj. He kind of has his own, like, all sorts of stuff. I think that was very sweet, very well done. I'm happy that the Rays were able to get that right. Julia is Heather 2.0, except not really better, but just, I'd argue, like, one notch worse. Seeming as, you know, we haven't seen her completely have the change yet, but she definitely did the thing where she pretended to be good. She got, like... She went kind of under it. However, do I want to say that she's one notch worse than Heather? I'd rather say that Heather is one notch better than Julia, because they are both very good characters in their own right. They have their own personalities, but they both... I mean, look, both of their little things here are rolling their eyes. Dude, like, these characters had so much in common, and so much of, like, a similar vibe, that, you know, I think they're both great. But Julia is definitely a Heather type, so is Bowie with the manipulation. However, he's got a similar feel to Alejandro with how he's able to do a lot of really good lying. Jacques and Jose they were just powerful. It took a while until there's less teams for them to truly show their true colors, because teams weren't really interacting with each other. However, these guys will cheat to win, such as MK. They are strong opponents, such as characters like Eva. We had Jose with her anger management issues, and her having special, like, certain characteristics which they showed gave them more depth as characters, such as Jose having her thing where she's super, I forgot what it's called. She is very into... Okay, Jose from Total Drama is what? It's okay, she's a Canadian figure skater, all that sort of stuff. She's short-tempered and aggressive when things don't go her way. She has claustrophobia. She's also super superstitious. That's what I was looking for. She carries around a lucky rabbit's foot named Bun Bun until losing it in Transylvania, later replacing it with a piece of volcanic rock shaped like a trophy she found in Hawaii, with the whole thing coming from that. Jacques and Jose have an amazing dynamic. They work well with other characters. They're very funny, but they're also not to be treated like a joke. These guys could have won. I also think that their elimination was so perfect. But now that we've got that over with, who's the ultimate villain? Well, I think it's pretty obvious here. It's obviously Mr. Coconut. I mean, did you see the manipulation he's done? Did you see the amounts of people he tricked? He left Alejandro stuck to a pole. Dude, he left everybody on the ground. He's winning every challenge. He's winning every immunity. The people were terrified of him. He got everyone that was coming for him voted off. Like, dude, this is the best total drama character ever. I don't think I can see anything wrong. Like, dude, he outwitted Heather and Alejandro put together. They couldn't even beat him. Heck, he outwitted Chris McLean on several occasions. I think that's all I need to say. I mean, there's no explanation needed. Do you remember that time when he did the thing? You know, the thing. Like, tell me what... You know what the thing is down in the comments. Just tell me. By the way... Make sure to go outside, compliment someone's hair, and make the world a little bit of a better place.